Team Reciprocity. Again, 7-3 scoreline. We're going to have Rec again starting on the attack with NIP starting on the defense here on Consulate. So, I mean, it's so slight. It's like 53-47. Slight favor to NIP on the defensive side here. For Reciprocity as well, you're looking to close this thing out and close it out quickly. You don't want to expose too much for VOD review for tomorrow when you play Na'Vi should you win. And honestly, you kind of want to wrap things up. It's like 11 o'clock at night right now. We're trying to get home. Yeah. Everyone's trying to get home. Rec needs to sleep before their game tomorrow.
And that's the main thing. Like, Reciprocity's been here all day with us as well.
It came in with us at like 7 a.m.
Yeah, so we'll with you at 7 a.m. I was not here at 7 a.m. because I was intelligent and I did not wake up. So I chose to sleep late instead of come get the jackets early on, which is was better for my mental health, I can tell you that. I feel very awake right now. Flynn looks dead, and that's how the day is going. So there you go.
So, I don't know why we just cut the cameras. Are we solid? Oh, yeah, we're solid. It just took a minute to load there.
Scared me for just a second.
I was getting worried, that loading screen took a while. But NIP, like we said, starting on the defense here, it looks like they're going to elect to go lobby to start things off. I don't know why none of the Reciprocity members are touching their keyboards, and yet somehow they're picking operators? What am I watching?
They're wizards, Harry. You never lived underneath your parents' staircase?
I don't know how that's happening.
I don't know.
But anyway.
This guy's a six-pick, and he's touching his keyboard. We're fine. We're good. Well, he's touching his mouse, at least. But besides that point, bands have already went through, obviously, as we see the timer tick down. The main one everyone's going to want us to talk about is going to be the Thatcher ban. And if you guys don't watch a lot of LATAM Pro League, you should probably start, because Thatcher is banned almost every single map. They hate Thatcher. And if you guys didn't know, Zoronic also hates Thatcher.
And Jaeger.
And Jaeger. And there's a main reason for that. Thatcher is an extremely powerful operator that you literally get to use as utility for free. There's no reason to throw it into a building. You can put it on a roof, you can put it next to a wall, you can put it, well, practically anywhere, and it ends up destroying something, you know? So it's a very powerful utility piece, and pulling that carpet out from under people when they're so used to having it can definitely put them into a different mindset, because you have to go about things a whole separate way.
So, NIP going to be starting on a lobby defense here, a little more atypical. And Muzi going for a spawn peek. So, we saw the Vigil ban on Coastline. We are not going to be seeing a mimicked Vigil ban here on Consulate. So, Muzi started things off, a little bit of a spawn peek. We'll see how Reciprocity contests that. And that's quite the angle there from Laxing. On top of a garbage can through some lattice outside. But Reciprocity assembling themselves towards the console windows. They should know by now that they are attacking in towards the lobby, but typically we see admin takes, and we have a nice little stat from Slack.
Yep. At this year's 6th Invitational, Ninjas in Pyjamas beat Reciprocity in a closely contested 8-6 win on Coastline.
That's Consulate.
I don't feel... What did I say?
You said Coast.
On Consulate, excuse me. My brain after that map earlier, or that match earlier today, is just down to about 5 IQ. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's we're running out of RAM here.
That was also in the group stage as well, before Reciprocity really kind of got their groove going. They started off very slow against NIP. That is certainly not the case today here in November. Or 10 months later, I don't have, or 9 months, oh, I can't do math. 9 months later.
I'm telling you, man, we're running out of brain power over here. It's
I do like the swap up, though, in terms of roles. We never really see Mark on Ashe anymore. That's just not a thing. If he's not playing Breach, he's usually on, like, secondary support, whether it be Thatcher, Capitaus, IQ, something like that. So, getting to see Mark on Ashe, again, Reciprocity is not looking to reveal anything. The less that Na'Vi have to be able to watch in the VODs, the better. Obviously, there's still a whole season of Pro League there, and Skies will start things off. That's our opening pick of the map, but it takes a while to get there. But it is Pino using the cardiac sensor, being spotted by Skies with the electronic sensor out in his hand.
Yeah, and that's going to be, well, the most dangerous thing for Pulse in the game is going to be an IQ. Psycho's also been down, so Reciprocity taking their time. The surgical way of handling things on the offense is working out this time around. They're going through the checklist. Slow and steady wins the race. Mark rotates in through Piano. He one out. Doesn't see the Vigil. Does he win the fight? He does. That's going to be a double for Mark, and now the diffuser going down, but it doesn't even matter. Skies to clean it up, and Reciprocity with a flawless round to start us here on Consulate.
I didn't mean to have a stroke into your microphone while you were casting that, but I saw Mark flick away, and oh no.
It happens, don't worry.
I had some worries.
I need that sound bite, though. I need that. I just need you going,
Well, Mark still collects the kill regardless, and it's obvious why Mark is on Ash right now, because he's still quite the competent fragger. They're going to put Skies in the Capitao instead of Mark as well, so role swaps abound here, everyone cycling through the carousel. This is also NIP's map pick. For anyone who is curious, Reciprocity picked Coastline. This is now Ninjas in Pyjamas map, and they don't start off all that hot, and yeah, there's through a soft wall, through a window with the cardiac sensor out from the electronics detector. Quite the opener there for Skies. Yeah, Psyker got down inside of the antechamber, and Fox elected to clean it up with the frag grenade, and that entire round there, again, was early picks from Reciprocity sitting still and waiting for the movements from NIP, and that's kind of been the name of the game so far. To start off is NIP really making some poor rotations, and Reciprocity taking advantage almost every round. You can see them. The only times they've really come at odds on rounds is when NIP just stay static. They don't move, and you can see Reciprocity sitting outside windows, sitting outside doors for 2.5 minutes straight, waiting for that mistake to be made.
Yeah, they're just waiting for Ninjas in Pyjamas to get antsy, and it's been working out for them so far. Polo going to allocate his Electro Claw onto the side wall of the garage instead of putting it directly onto the metal, which very creative way of handling that. Makes it where you can't shoot it from yellow stairs very easily, unless obviously you have something like, well, an electronic detector to find that outside edge and make it just a touch easier for yourself. Reciprocity obviously still going to be on offense. It looks like it's going to be, relatively speaking, the exact same take that we just went through. A quick utility burn from Mark will get rid of an ADS. Stuns everybody inside of the room, but obviously no aggressive take.
So pushing downstairs, you're going to want the piano control, and you're going to want some soft destruction to open up the piano floor. Not some challenge. Moosey's going to walk straight into an ass charge. Oh, that's not what you want. As Moosey's down to about 10 HP now. That's a big risk play there for Moosey that just does not pay off. He takes a lot of damage there for free, and I don't think Mark's any the wiser. I don't think he has any idea that Moosey crossed right in front of his windowsill before backing off. They don't have a dock. They don't have any way to really push him back up above the threshold that he's on right now in terms of health. So the wall will get opened up with the assist from Mark there, and they'll do some damage just as an added bonus. But there goes the right panel of the garage. Retro waiting a second, waiting for anyone to come screaming out of that breach. But no one from NIP looking to take that risk. They've been caught off guard way too many times trying to go for those aggressive takes, and Reciprocity have read them like a book at every turn. So for now, NIP once again looking to stay a little more static.
Yeah, I think that the main thing is that you never see Reciprocity with this playstyle. They're going to full stun everybody outside, but it's really not going to matter all too much. Reciprocity is just waiting for open arms, as you said, for any mistake that Ninjas in Pyjamas is going to make. They're going to continue to play this slow play style because of that match that they're going in tomorrow. And if they can win this with the least amount of strats and everything else showing, that's exactly what they want to do. But this time around, Ninjas in Pyjamas will actually have the upper hand to start us off, and it's going to be Skies to falter. Reciprocity needs to try and get this diffuser down. More drone play coming in for Reciprocity. They don't have any vertical control, which is something that's very weird. They did bring the sledge on Fox, but no one has allocated themselves upstairs in order to handle it, and this could get really rough. Only 40 seconds remain. Obviously, still need to get that plant down in order to shift the tides of war here. They do know that somebody is on pipes, though, so if they're able to get that initial kill, they can go for this plant and try and shut people down as they rotate up to stop the diffuser from going down. They recognize out now, though, that at least one person is upstairs. Where's Foxy going to go, though? He's taking control of yellow. He's going to get challenged. Quite a bit of damage dealt to him. He goes to challenge piano, but doesn't find too much. Mark's going to accidentally knife a quick rotation, but he's going to run right into the nitro cell instead. Laxing with a team kill as he takes down Psycho, but they need to get this diffuser down. He almost gets that second one. It's going to be down to the one kill. They know where he is. He's going to go for the prone shot, but he can't find it, and Fox allocates himself to the fist bump and goes into the next round.
Again, a lot of standing around for Reciprocity, man. They're just waiting for NIP to peak to their own detriment, really. It's getting worrisome how long they're waiting to go for that execute here. You know, we're talking 10, 15 seconds left in the round, maybe, when Reciprocity are pushing into the bomb site, and this is honestly looking a lot like Coastline, where on the attacking side, they're so committed to waiting out their opponents. You're on attack, though. The defense can play the clock, and they have utility to play the clock as well, like smoke grenades, like nitro cells, and I don't know, it's not something I would have expected to see from Reciprocity in a situation like this, where they really had the opportunity to just go swinging for the fences and play a play style that, yeah, is a little more known as your brand, but something you don't get to play all that often.
I think the main thing is that it feels like Reciprocity is playing defense on offense. And the only time that you're allowed to do that is once you have the plant down. Once you're in the post plant, that's perfectly acceptable. Yeah. But otherwise, I mean, it's kind of in the name. Attack. You're not attacking. Go do things. Shoot people. It's kind of your job.
Well, you want to talk about more of a stall factor. Polo is giving up on guns. He's going to go to the Clash. Obviously, still has the SMG9 as an opportunity or an option, but he's going to have the deployable taser shield.
I firmly believe that Clash has some of the best voice lines in this entire game. I love hearing her yell at people. It's great. No running in the halls. One of the really good ones inside of her kit there, but we actually have some fantastic voice lines overall in this entire game. I would have to say that the best one for me personally would probably be Echo's, because he goes, time to be efficient and kind of lazy. And that just, you know, really rings true with me because I don't want to move. I just want to sit in my room and play video games all day.
So for Reciprocity, a lot of damage done to Pino to start things off. Mark as well getting back on the Capitao. Sky's back on Breach, so it's like a return to normality here for Reciprocity. They started with the role swaps for the first 2 rounds. It works out well once, doesn't work well twice. And really, I don't think it has anything to do with operators. It has to do with playstyle. For the first round, you actually pushed in and got entries in the first minute. For the second round, you sat outside a garage wall for 2 minutes and didn't make a move. That's the difference between your 2 rounds. And that was the difference between all of the attacking rounds they won and lost on Coastline as well. It has nothing to do with the operators. It just has to do with how you play the game. Pino, though, on about 28, 30 HP in some kind of territory in that range. And the pre-fire from Foxay almost put him to rest quite early on. Sky's firing down from the yellow skylight as well to try and displace anyone playing deep inside of the console office. It doesn't look like Reciprocity have any intentions of going for an admin take. This is a complete yellow stairs and console windows take to try and aggress in. And that Capitao is going to do wonders for them with the smoke bolts and with the asphyxiating bolts to cut off any possible rotations and clear out connector. That's one of the hardest places to clear. ADS will not catch these asphyxiating bolts coming in.
I would have bet money that you and I would have never have sat here and talked about how Reciprocity was going to be playing extremely passive. Even with Ninjas in Pyjamas worse for wear at this point in time, I assumed that it was going to be an absolute frag fest, just go for the death match instead of the strats, but it seems like Reciprocity is slowing things down still. They've got their initial kill on Pino, who was damaged earlier on into the round, but with only a minute remaining and Clash still up. Cancel that. Fox is going to change that up quickly. Tries to challenge in towards connector, but it's going to be Barroz to win it out instead. Mark's going to trade, and they're still going to have man advantage up 4-2 currently. The last 2 remaining NIP members inside of connector battling for the windows, pre-firing through, but it's not going to be enough to stop them. And it's actually going to be Lax on a very peculiar angle all the way from Circle. Spiral, excuse me. Off of the Spiral Repel is able to find the kill in connector off of the rotation. So Reciprocity seemingly back in order here in round 3.
Again, it's about making forward progression here for Reciprocity. In rounds where they take 1 step forward, that's all it takes. 1 step forward, they win the round. When they stand still and don't do anything on attack, yeah, they lose. So it looks like we're going to be going back upstairs once again here for NIP. For the last 3 rounds, Reciprocity's in the driver's seat every round. It's just up to them as to whether or not they want to take the round. On the defensive side here for NIP, honestly, they didn't have many options. I know I'm talking about Reciprocity just laying and waiting for them to make the move, but the asphyxiating bolts, the frag grenades, the pressure from crossfires and the window repels, that was a beautiful setup there for Reciprocity that forced NIP to make movements that ultimately cost them their lives. For Reciprocity, the cleaner attacks have looked good when pushing through window repels and establishing those crossfires. When they were attacking the basement, though, like you said, they never pushed in for that top control. They never applied any pressure from above to force NIP to move. If you want to sit there and wait for them to make a mistake, by all means, but at least apply some pressure. Force it to happen. Be an initiator. Don't just wait for them to get bored and start moving on their own. You have to be the driving force. Like you said, you're on attack.
Yeah, and the issue with that is that, as you said, they're not forcing them to make the mistakes, and that's what you have to do inside of this game. They're just not going to do it just because you want them to, especially with how Ninjas in Pyjamas are forced to play without their main lineup, you know? They're just going to sit there and allow you to spin on the timer on offense if that's what you're going to do. They really could care less unless you're going to try and get aggressive. They're the ones with the passive play style. Reciprocity is just kind of playing up to the matchup right now and doing the exact same thing.
Well, I think it's also interesting that they've gone back to their normal roles that they play, you know, day in, day out in Pro League and every event they play. This is a return to the norm for almost everyone right now. Waxing on the Lion, slightly out of the norm, but the Lion being available is an opportunity that Reciprocity would like to take advantage of. Now, Pino's standing on the opposite side of a wooden barricade from Mark as they stare down bullet holes from one another. Shotgun in hand, if Pino had accidentally clicked his mouse, it would have been a free kill, staring right down with the shotgun, but he'll never know. It would be one to look back on the VOD and shake your head at, but obviously you never would have had the intel for it. Popping open the window now, and Pino's going to try and take action on the windowsill. Darting up, and there goes a run up from Polo, though, to take down Mark. Looking for two now outside. No one holding him at bay. It looks like it'll be Fox to try and push downstairs and at least trade one back there. You've lost so much utility on Mark. You've lost Skies on that spiral rappel, or the yellow stairs rappel, sorry. This is a good start here, and Ninjas in Pyjamas starting to fight back a little bit. This is more what I wanted to see from them.
Yeah, get a little aggro, show a little leg, you know? You have to try and at least bait them into the building, and they've been playing so very passive. I mean, for God's sakes, we have Laxian on the top of Spiral just staring into yellow. That's something that, again, we don't see too often from this roster. Usually it's the extremely aggressive it takes. Laxian's on an entry fragger like IQ, but instead this time around he's going to be on the Lion. So overall, the showing from Reciprocity, lackluster, especially since they're playing against an injured Ninjas in Pyjamas roster. Now their main focus, though, has to be side. The diffuser's going to be in the hands of Retro. It appears that they're going to be going for a projector take here. Laxian is still upstairs on the top of Spiral. They have Fox, who has shifted his sights over towards what appears to be, I believe, copy window here. I can't exactly get my bearings on the exact area in which he's playing. It does appear, yeah, he's on the copy window over on the complete opposite side of the map over on the north end. So as the timer continues to tick down, EU1D's pour in, but they know that Retro is going to try and hop in through these projector windows. He opens up both of them. They already have control on admin. Laxian's going to get a kill, as I believe Polo just threw himself from the window. Fox is actually in. He finds one kill. Moosey's going to immediately get the kill on Retro as he hops in. Another EE1D gets allocated. It'll mark out one. Laxian to get another, but he needs to find two in order to shut this down. They can both just run away. The diffuser's already been killed. Laxian can't win it out, and Ninjas in Pyjamas with round 4 to equalize.
Going to tie things up. Running it back upstairs was the right play there for NIP, and this time again getting a little more aggressive. You can see Pino in the smoke. Instead of waiting and ultimately dying to those asphyxiating bolts that we saw last time around, he wants to challenge the console windows. A nice play from him. And then again, the run out there from Polo. Just a difference maker on the round and a different look that NIP haven't shown yet. He nitros away the Claymore. I do like that play. Pretty loud sound cue, but neither member of Team Reciprocity able to acquire the kill. And Fox pushing down momentarily towards Pipes, unable to clean the trade either. So precarious situation there for Reciprocity, allowing Polo to escape after taking down 2 members off Rappel. That's the thing, man. You sit in one spot for too long and you run it back the exact same way. Eventually, NIP is going to read you. Even an injured NIP still equalizing here. It's a 2-2 ball game.
I mean, it's not like they have players that haven't played the game before and haven't played a first-person shooter before. I mean, they still have brains, guys. For God's sakes, come on. You know, Reciprocity, though, on this offense so far, again, just these slow takes that are not working out for them. They need to try and imbue some aggression into their playstyle. Bring us back the old Reciprocity. I like the old Kanye. Where's he at?
I don't know if you're allowed to say that, but you did anyway, so we'll get in trouble for it later. Again, with the roll swaps, Mark's going to get off the support and go back to the Ash. Sky's on the Twitch. Never go wrong with Sky's with F2, so he's going to get off support as well. We'll throw Retro on Breach, and the other 2 members of Fox and Laxian will remain the same. For the defensive side here, Psycho's having a lot of fun on the Mozzie. He's having a lot of fun on the Mozzie today, and that's a role that's been honestly shopped around between plenty of the members of NIP today. We're going to go back downstairs for a basement defense. This is the last bomb site that they won before they won their previous round upstairs. The front door is wide open. That's a little precarious for both the members that spawned out towards police line for Reciprocity. And again, Muzi playing inside of Piano. It's up to Reciprocity to push in and actually take the main floor control here into Piano and acquire some pressure. First EOD is going to detonate, and there goes Foxay taking down Muzi as he tries to rotate. He's already pushed his way in through the circle death. So there we go. Team Reciprocity pushing in and taking ground. They'll now use Mark on those upside down repels, again, to open up the floorboards, clear off the walls for these Kaid Electroclaws that Polo has placed, and they'll facilitate opening up the wall with relative ease.
The issue is now, though, is that Psycho's on a deep roam upstairs. You can see him inside of Connector, and they haven't droned it out just yet, and now he's going to show phase, taking down Mark as he rotated into Projector. They now have to worry about this man all the way upstairs. They can always go for the direct attack as well, as Skies is waiting to see if there is an Electro Claw or anything else that is possibly thrown. He goes to pop it. Didn't get the sound cue, but it'll open nevertheless. Gets rid of one of the evil eyes, and now they don't have to worry about as much vision control in the hands of Ninjas and Pyjamas. We could have a hot drop coming in from Foxay as well on the eastern side of things.
Oh, you can see Skies. He doesn't want to tase it because he only has one taser left. So he's going to open it up and call for a teammate to hit the deck and try and shoot. But as he does, Barros is going to challenge onto Laxing. So that will cue Foxay to drop into the back. He's going to blow open the hatch, but the barricaded door will be a sound cue. So he wants to avoid it and now head in towards Archives and take down Pino. Taking out the cam as well. Now down to the 3v3. The wall has been opened up on the left-hand side here for Reciprocity as well. They've got the Skies and Retro to push into the breach with Foxay applying pressure from the back. Another drone being sent out here from Retro to again confirm what they're seeing. Polo does not need to peek here, and he'll do it anyway, and he'll get down. The F2 so dominant from Skies, but the top control, that's going to force Skies to push all the way on through. Barros the challenge now. 1 HP, but he'll turn the corner and take him down. Retro will trade out Psycho upstairs, so Barros last man standing. Foxay bursts on through with that SMG-11, and Foxay the difference maker on that round. Reciprocity back in the driver's seat up 3-2.
Just let one person do it. I mean, Foxay's been able to show that he is able to find these kills if he has the information throughout Consulate so far. So why not just let that happen? Continue this drone game, continue to show that support for him, and you guys could possibly walk away with a lot more rounds than you currently have.
I really like the teamwork that time around from Reciprocity, as well as pushing in, like I said, grabbing that map control. You're really not going to walk away with a lot of rounds if you're not pushing into the building on attack. It is Consulate, a map where you can play a lot of rounds off rappel. Attacking the basement is not one of those rounds. And we're going to try and run that back. So we have a lobby defense to start the game, and we're going to abandon it for the next 5 rounds consecutively. 2 ADSs being allocated to the back of the white van. Not a big shock, as a lot of pressure's been applied there, especially with frag grenades and flashes, trying to disorient any of the members, holding off the entry into the garage. Psycho on that roam, like you said, undroned for a long period of time, and that was the demise of Mark right there, is just unknowing for Reciprocity that Psycho was topside. Muzi has had a bad time trying to roam inside of Antechamber and Piano, though. First round, he takes an ass charge to the face and loses about 90 HP. In the second round, he gets droned out. Foxay pushes in through Circle Desk while the EOD from the line detonates, and he's not long for this world.
You hate to see it. You really do. Reciprocity, though, seem to have found their footing on offense and how they want to handle things. If they don't want to show their full hand, then just have one person be aggressive instead, or have 2 people be aggressive. Just go to what standard Siege is. 2 supports, 1 flex, 2 entries, instead of what Reciprocity usually does, which is like 4 entries and a guy that drones a lot. Jumping into round 6 now, though, Reciprocity is trying to force this lead even further as they gain control of it once again. Fox is looking to go in the exact same way that he did the last time, through lobby, but he's going to have a little bit more contention this time around. Could be hotly contested if they do choose to peek out from Antechamber. Mark going to go for the upside down rappel again and gets the angle to lock down white van.
Drone work there to spot out the Electric Claws. That's a sneaky little Electric Claw, but shooting open the front door. Good coverage there from Laxing this time, waiting for the peek to come onto the balcony outside Projector, but instead a nice little flick there from Laxing, and he waits for Psycho to go for the jump as well, but no double jump there coming from NIP, as they'll lose their roamer of Muzi once again from inside of Piano. He's just had a bad time, a very ineffectual roam so far. The second electric claw placed in the wall, pretty easy to spot and shoot for any member of Reciprocity. No Thatcher is going to make things a little bit more difficult for that, but the EOD as he pushes in, Foxay now has bathroom control. He'll take down the smoke of Pino, and now they have a lot of control in towards the garage specifically.
Well, you at least got to give it to Musi. That was a very creative way to set up the door. Make it to where it only takes a couple of bullets to fall down. And Psycho on a rotate. They had to worry about this last time. He got a little gun shy once it got down to get the diffuser down, though, and just took a little bit too long in order to be of his utmost effectiveness. Sky's going to be on a late entry, though, and this could spell disaster for Ninjas in Pyjamas. The diffuser is down, and now Skies has the upper control. He heard him getting picked up. He takes down Paulo. That was the man that was down, and Barlas is going to take quite a bit of damage as well. Psycho has that P10 Roni, and the only issue is now, though, is you can't take back-to-back gunfights with that gun. The clip is so very small. They're sticking the diffuser now, though, as he challenges up yellow. Can he get it? He can't. Reciprocity to shut it out in round 6, going into the split 4-2.
Identical to Coastline there. It took a little bit of a different path to get to the scoreline, but once again, we head into the half up 4-2 for Reciprocity on Consulate, as we did on map number 1 of Coastline. So 3 rounds away from setting themselves to a date with Na'Vi tomorrow in the second semifinal. First one is already booked. It's Aerowolf against Dark Zero. So we have one team left to find here. NIP in a big hole, trying to keep themselves alive. They'll head to the attacking side now on Consulate with Reciprocity heading to the defense. You only need 3, and yeah, like I said, a nice flick there from Laxi. Never got to see it, but I could tell. He was pre-aiming towards that balcony. Barros has been sneaky powerful so far, and just milliseconds there from Psycho to stop the plan. If it hadn't been a post-plant situation, that very easily could have been the Ninjas in Pyjamas round, but unfortunately, this game is played off milliseconds, and we've seen a lot of instances of 1 solitude second being the difference maker on rounds. For NIP, same kind of situation as Coastline. You're going to try and draw within 1 early, and the attack to the basement should be pretty standard. I mean, Consulate is a map that has some decent innovation on it in terms of strategies, but at the end of the day, attacking towards the basement of Consulate has been the same thing since day 1. Get your top control, open up the floorboards into garage, open your garage wall, force the anchors back. It's, you know, it's the same checklist since 2015.
You can go back and watch videos of King George giving you a breakdown of how to take this map, and it's the exact same way.
Not a lot has changed.
Yeah, we're talking about a year and a half ago, you know. But there is a couple of things about this map that I do love. This is one of my favorite maps in the game, personally speaking. And the main reason for that is you can play every single site, Flynn. There's no site you go, this site is just absolutely terrible. There's no way to defend it.
We saw that this morning with Dark Zero against FaZe. They love Teller's Archives, and they avoided some team's primary bomb site, which was the top floor, like the plague. They never played it once. They kept rotating lobby, Teller's Archives, and the basement.
Yeah, I mean, some teams, it just works out that way. We've seen it a few different other times as well on different maps like Villa. You know, some people just didn't like aviation games, you know, things along those lines. It really just falls into that fold of, okay, we can play really whatever we want on this map, so why don't we just play the sites that we favor? Now, with this map in particular, though, there's an operator inside of this game that everyone bans all the time. And you're going to see Mark playing her right now. It's Mira. And there's a main reason as to why she wasn't banned out on Consulate. And it's because she's not as effective as she is on other maps. Mark going to botch a Nitro Cell because no one's above him. He just more than likely heard a few footsteps, tried to go for a Hail Mary, and it didn't work out. But this is not one of Mira's most effective maps. She obviously still has some sites that she can be used on, like the site downstairs. You see the very unique mirror setup that they're running. One inside of the security office, and then they also have another panel set up inside of kitchen, both facing out towards the garage, so you have the utmost amount of vision as you possibly can. But you're not going to see her upstairs. You're not going to see her on lobby. This is really the only site that you can play her safely unless you're going to that Teller's Archives.
Oh, Foxay prepping a Nitro Cell to send out to the breach hole, but it looks like it's well anticipated there from Psycho as he bails all the way back to the stairwells, not going for consecutive breaches, and that's been a smart play. You can see Retro avoiding it when he was on the breach duty while attacking the basement for Reciprocity. Lots of top control here, but Laxing will be the first one to take aim onto Muzi as he tries to push down in towards Archives and Lockers. Doesn't work out so well for the Ash as he'll be the first to fall on the side of the Ninjas. So a 4v5 here, still in good position, but low on time. time. Clock control not been the greatest for NIP throughout this entire series, and once again, they're going to have to bail into the bomb site with about 30 seconds remaining. Still 3 smoke canisters remaining for Skies. They only have 1 panel open right now. Not a lot of opportunities. The smoke bolts come raining down, but Mark will hit the nasty shot onto Polo. The plant will come off now, pre-aiming in towards the back of White Van, but turning his attention away. Most inopportune time. Foxay pushing to the smoke will grab one. Barrows on the trade onto Skies. Pino on 1 HP has to retreat, and Barrows going down outside now, trying to recollect the diffuser, but Foxay standing directly on it next to Black Car, trying to push in through the breach, but Mark will shut him down for his second on the round. Pino on 5 HP will hold the spiral stairs rotate, and the look on this man's face says it all. It's Reciprocity up 5-2.
Just rough waters here for Ninjas in Pyjamas in general, and I think that you telegraphed that well. I mean, look at the man's face. They're not very happy about the circumstance. But as much as we can possibly rag on that and go, oh my gosh, you know, they have to play with 2 subs, yada, 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 right? The main thing is, though, they're able to play, because we didn't think that they were going to be able to play. So the fact that Ninjas in Pyjamas is even represented here is enough for me personally. I'm happy that they were able to get some of the roster out, get the 2 subs in, and were able to show up to Japan, because this land means a lot to a lot of people. This is one of arguably the best Pro League finals that we've been able to pull off of, with production and everything else. So just having the Ninjas in Pyjamas banner here makes it all the better.
Heading to a lobby defense now for Reciprocity as they're victorious downstairs. They might be employing a little bit of what we saw from Darts earlier today from our very first game, which was, 10, 12, 15 hours ago? I've lost track of time.
We've been live for over 12 hours.
Well, it's a 5-2 lead now for Reciprocity. They're 2 rounds away from a date with Na'Vi, as many anticipated, as though Wildcard gave one hell of a performance against Na'Vi earlier today. And obviously with the situation that NIP are in, many of course predicting that it would be Reciprocity to come away victorious in this matchup. And while we've seen plenty of upsets and plenty of upset rounds and underdogs really giving us reasons to cheer, unfortunately this game is just not one of them right now, as NIP really defanged right now by Reciprocity and the lack of not having a full roster.
Yeah, I will definitely tell you this. If this is the first game that you are viewing today,
that's a mistake.
That is a mistake. Go back. You need to watch other things. Watch them in order, because everyone always complains about the ticker giving things away. Watch them in order. Stop it.
Did Psycho just repel into Piano? Yeah, he's trying to plant. Okay. A for effort. Didn't really work out all that well. Laxing's going to grab one on Namuzi before being traded out, but it's 3 straight now for NIP. They all start descending into the bomb site. Pino cuts down Skies. NIP looking to rush into the bomb site. Look at the plant down. Retro could not stop it before being completed. Repels onto the antechamber windows, and Retro on extremely low HP. He's just going to try and stick it from in behind the Piano chassis. Nobody's coming close. NIP! Finally, there we go. Retro 2 seconds away from sticking the counter defuse. Polo pushing into the yellow door, and oh my, if Retro had been able to stick that, we would have been talking about this for a little while. But thankfully, the repel into Piano works out for NIP, an immediate Russian plant into the bomb site, and Reciprocity, it's the one you can forget.
I was getting flashbacks of the now famous Empire clip on Bank when Blue and I had no idea what was going on. A 2 million IQ usage there in that instance, but this time around didn't work out for him. But I will say this for Retro. Pros don't fake, so therefore I respect it.
Tempted run out there. I guess the impact grenade just he's actually collecting. Yeah, NIP played that pretty well, honestly. They were set up for that. Everyone in a good position to hold for jump outs and hold for aggression and hold for the retake. I don't want to say they game planned that, because they really didn't have time to boot camp or talk to each other really and, you know, prepare strategies, but that's a nice one on the fly. I'll give NIP credit for that.
I got an idea. Let's go.
Let's make a play. I have a play. I'm going to make a play.
I'm throwing myself through a window. You guys just play off of that however you want to.
Yep.
Well, I mean, hey, it worked out.
It did work out. It gets them 1 back in the win column, and now the deficit only stands at 2. A 5-3 advantage still for Reciprocity, still 2 rounds away from sending themselves to the semifinals. And For Reciprocity, that would be nice to see, as they also made the semifinals of the 6 Invitational back in February, and that's the farthest they've been to the land for the entire calendar year of 2019. They didn't make it to the finals in Valencia. They didn't play Allied.
Yeah, you are
play Raleigh.
No, they
didn't make it to the
They did play
finals.
Allied.
Huh?
Yeah, they were at Allied.
No, they were the only team that didn't play Allied. They were there because they lived there, but they were the only team that didn't play Allied.
Oh, you're talking about Reciprocity. Apologies. I thought you were talking about Ninjas and Pyjamas. I'm sorry. I zoned out for just a second. I just, at the wrong time, was thinking about something else. Anyways, besides that fact, I was like, wait a minute, Ninjas and Pyjamas was there. What are you talking about? But no, the Reciprocity was not there. So they did have a pretty good showing at 6 Invitational, though, but eventually just got shut down by G2, and G2 was on an absolute rampage. I mean, they only dropped, what, 1 map throughout that entire run, if I remember correctly? A very impressive showing by G2, but they've also become lackluster as of late.
Well, for NIP, they're trying to equalize here. Draw within 1. Polo will be on the rappel outside of the bathroom window, holding for a lot of jump outs, but it looks like NIP, again, imping a little bit of what they saw from Reciprocity, not looking to go for admin takes across while attacking towards the top floor bomb site. Barrows with that Capital will also be instrumental, using that utility, pushing forward through the round, especially with a clash on the board. Foxy taking a lot of damage, and there's 3 members all stacked on one another. Muzi will grab 1, but he cannot get any remaining members. Mark on 50, Fox on 75, Retro the man to fall, not the person you want to be the first casualty if you're Reciprocity. NIP really stepping up the aggression here, and it's working out in spades. Laxing now will be cut down as he falls to the hatch. Here goes Muzi, his aggression up the yellow stairs, unparalleled.
This is very scary for Reciprocity. Laxing's now down. They have 3 remaining. Foxay allocating not really to have a gun. He's going to be on the clash, trying to slow down the take here, but the take's already practically been done. I mean, they have all the entry kills that they possibly need. They continue to tack on. Mark's now down, joining his friend Laxing. They haven't died yet, but their blood is definitely rushing out of every orifice. But Fox to tag back, Balros to trade, and this is just looking rough overall for Rec on their defensive half so far. Foxy to drop off. He's going to have to try and clutch up, but now he's able to pick up his friend Lax. They didn't realize that he had dropped down to Piano, so it is still going to be a 3v4. They don't have enough map control in order to plant now, though. They do have yellow control as well as bathroom, but they need to try and pick a site here. Skies controls projector. This is more than likely going to be a console take.
Pinged out inside of the bathroom now will be Polos. He puts Skies on 10. He's on 5 himself. The smoke will go out, choking him off. Foxay with the SMG9 will get 1, but traded out in there goes Barros to close it out. On to Skies. We're back within 1. NIP not looking to go down without a fight.
Reciprocity, this is going to be causing a lot of concern back home. I can definitely tell you that. North America's definitely going to be worried going into tomorrow if they're able to win out here, because Na'Vi looked so incredible earlier today against Wildcard in such a close game. Again, if you guys did not watch any of the other maps today, definitely go back, make that a point to go back and watch, because my Christ, man, were they incredible.
Well, Reciprocity have surrendered 2 consecutive rounds to NIP's aggression now, and the clash for Foxay, it looked like he was better off using the gun than the shield, really. It didn't quell a whole lot. The asphyxiating bolts doing a lot of damage to 3 members from Reciprocity that were all on top of each other under the default camera, right at the top of Yellow Stairs. Don't know what was going on there.
That was so weird.
They're going to go back downstairs to a defense of the basement this time, and they were pretty successful the last time they defended this. It was their first defensive win. You see what they can do this time around. Really no roaming coming up from Reciprocity on this basement defense either, playing 5 on site and having some pretty good success with it. Really the deepest roam was Laxing down inside of Archives, and he actually collected the kill onto Muzi as well as he tried to push downstairs. Again with the Mira coming up from Mark as the Capital is still coming out for NIP. We've got double hard breach as well, a Hibana and a Thermite coming out for the side of Ninjas in Pyjamas, and almost an exact same setup coming up. But Foxay on the side of Reciprocity as well. He's going to go to the Bandit instead of the Cade, or the Kaid, sorry. Just doesn't really want to deal with the TCSG right now. An MP7, 3-speed, and he's still got a Nitro Cell and the ability to trick the wall. You're feeling pretty confident with that, especially with a Thatcher being banned.
Yeah, a very dangerous operator on the defense that isn't talked about too much is Bandit. That MP7 is arguably the best SMG in the game with its damage margin and rate of fire, and practically no recoil. Makes for a very, very good weapon. Throw in a nitro cell and a few car batteries for your leisure, and all of a sudden you got a pretty fun op to play. Ninjas in Pyjamas, though, going to have all of the vertical control and more for their taking, as they now have literally everything in less than 40 seconds.
So here comes Pino once again, getting the top control. The nitro cells integral to the defense for Reciprocity. They've been missing quite a lot, though. Not a lot of intel, as Foxay will whiff one. Mark has one pre-placed right above Foxay. He's got to avoid that, honestly. And he's got a kill hole waiting. Try and use some sound cues to prepare and better identify when someone will be on top of that nitro cell. The drone's on top of the bathroom hatch as well, going to spot, and Mark realizing that he's got to try and pull that back. The wall will get opened up with ease, as Foxay really never had a chance to try and bandit trick, as there's no roaming presence inside of Piano, no roam control needed for NIP, as it takes about a minute to open up the wall there and have all the top control you could ever really want. Moosey's going to be trying to hold flanks now from the Visa stairs. It's very common to rotate for a member of Reciprocity like Laxing or Foxay to go with these 3 speeds and try and take them upstairs to the Visa stairs and push their way across and clear out the Piano control that NIP will have. Pino sending down a frag grenade, but it won't connect them to any of the members of Reciprocity. And with about a minute remaining now, NIP need to condense into the bomb site, but still top presence reigns supreme as Pino will take down Foxay, but finally the nitro cell will hit from Mark to take down Pino.
Feels like he's had that nitro cell on that ceiling for ages. Retro telegraphed for the kill now, but can he confirm it? It's going to be a prone angle here for Ninjas in Pyjamas outside, specifically the Capital that's continuing to dance with Fate, and Fate could possibly get twisted and a little bit gnarled if he peeks into the wrong bullet there. We do still have this full horizontal hold from Reciprocity. This is exactly what they were showing last time. Muzi to get the entry kill that's needed to start trying to get a diffuser down. Only 20 seconds remain. No nitro cell in the hands of the defense any longer. Laxing's going to have to try and go for a rotate here. Polo claims one. Barles will claim the other. Diffuser now in. Can he find the Claymore? He can. He also gets a kill as well, but Lax has a lot more work to do in order to stop this from an equalization mark, and it's not gonna happen. Ninjas in Pyjamas finding 5 rounds so far on Consulate, and Reciprocity, you might want to wake up.
3 rounds in a row for the Ninjas in Pyjamas, and suddenly the last remaining Latin American team with 2 substitutes, seeming like they are breathing life back into their run. Reciprocity surrendering 3 consecutive defenses, and that's a little worrisome there, as they've been rushed upon twice, and then honestly just a methodical round taking advantage of what was given to you. If no one's gonna roam and you're gonna play 5 on site, well, by all means, evade the nitro cells as best you can, get your top control, and fire on down through these floorboards. The flanks were held beautifully by NIP, quelling any opportunity for a rush upstairs and then clear across through the antechamber hallway and through the Z hall, and Laxing in a 1v4. He gets 1 for his troubles, but Barros downstairs with a pistol is all it takes to wrap it up. We stand at a 5-5 scoreline. It looks like someone has taken a timeout as the timer has stopped. I have no idea who took the timeout, but I'm sure we'll be informed momentarily. We also look like it's lobby defense coming out from Reciprocity.
I mean, the main thing right now is that they just need to play the map correctly. I mean, you're on the downstairs site, you just give up the entire mid floor. It's the only area that you need to be concerned about being able to hold down, at least for a while. You don't have to, you know, die on the hill, but you at least got to show face, possibly get a kill, and then rotate downstairs. Instead, they don't even put a single body, a single reinforcement, nothing to the mid floor, and then they expect it to work. That's not going to work. I mean, they have drones. They drone through, figure out the entire mid floor is clear, see that no one rotated upstairs. You have your mid floor, you have the soft destruction to be able to create every angle under the sun, and you have your round victory.
Well, for Reciprocity, the last time they defended this bomb site, it was, I can't even remember who it was on site. I think it was Psycho on Thermite, rappelling into piano windows alone. getting a kill onto Laxing after Lax got the opener onto Muzi, and then putting plant down and everyone for NIP holding for jump outs. I don't know if they're going to try and replicate that strategy. That's one that I don't think works twice in the same game against the same team, as I imagine Reciprocity to be ready and waiting. But their retake ability, honestly, shut down quite hard by NIP. They're on a bit of a run right now, and like we said, they're a bit of a streaky team when they're at full health or when they're not. Still able to string together quite a lot of rounds consecutively. Laxing going for a spawn peek, trying to take any damage off the member spawning police line. Or sorry, in towards gas station. None such will happen, as Muzi and Cycle will both quickly go towards this piano windows again. I'm starting to get worried they're going to try and run this back, and honestly the setup that NIP had last time, it was well thought out. I worry for Reciprocity here. Could this be 4 in a row?
Yeah, and then could the curse continue, Flynn? Could we be going to map 3? That's the real question. Can you do it with 2 supports in? I'm thinking not, but I've been proven wrong before.
We've seen weirder.
Yes, we have indeed seen weirder, and almost a very nice kill by Pino. Laxing gets discovered back behind the pantry wall due to the skeleton key, and quite a bit of damage as he drops down the hatch.
Again, the roam clear is something that's been not really required for NIP, so I have trouble gauging where it's at right now, but they've done a good job of at least applying pressure from the windows without putting themselves in harm's way. You know, they're staying on the rappels, and it doesn't look like Reciprocity right now have any interest in jumping out. Hey, remember the last time they defended lobby, when every time they jumped out of a window, they were cut down by a member holding from Narnia of NIP, waiting for the jump. Laxing on about 40, but Sky's will open things up onto Polo, though, as that pulse downstairs will get the opening pick. Pino still repelled up on the connector window now, waiting for anyone upstairs to make a poor rotation, but none such happening from Reciprocity. He'll hit the deck now, looking towards the antechamber windows. I'm sure NIP in the back of their minds are debating whether or not they should just send into the bomb site, but the pulse downstairs will have to be taken care of. A nice shot there from Pino onto Fox as he tries to challenge onto the anti-windows, and Sky's going to rotate up. I would rather keep that cardiac sensor and nitrocell downstairs if I were Rec.
Yeah, then you're going to be able to telegraph a lot of information to your team with that, but Skies is going to go all the way upstairs, gets a kill. Mark finds one with a pistol as well. That's going to be Lesion's secondary, and it's going to be all up to Muzi and Barros to try and keep the streak alive. Going to walk in through 2 goo mines, but he's still going to be able to get the kill, as apparently Mark could not hear him, which did not work out in his favor. Bringing it back almost to equalization here, but Retro shuts that thought down, and it's all left up to Barros. One of the fill players here, the subs for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Reciprocity has 3 members up. He doesn't have the diffuser in hand, but now he does. He has to try and go for this plant. Only 20 seconds remain. He does have some smoke bolts as well as some fire bolts as well. He's going to get a goo mine stuck in, and this is where it gets extremely dangerous. You have to go through this entire animation and then try and go for the plant. Is he just going to try and plant the smoke? This is almost done, but it's not going to matter. It's going to be, I believe, Retro, yes it will, to shut him down on the Maestro.
Well, Reciprocity now put themselves on match point and series point. They stopped the bleeding, which is a weird thing I never thought I'd be saying about this matchup, especially for Reciprocity. But NIP, they show some resiliency that round as well. You know, entering into the bomb site again, that's been an easy task for Ninjas in Pyjamas. It's about playing after they can get a plant down. That's been a little more worrisome, at least on the attacking side. For Reciprocity there, you have a good response, you have a good bounce back, but now you stand on the precipice of elimination from the tournament here in Tokoname. No one expected you to come away with the win, but if you come away with the map, all you have to do is force OT here. It's a best of 3 from then on. Certainly within the realm of possibility to force us to Clubhouse. We saw the upsets coming all the way down to the bitter end for Wildcard against Na'Vi on Clubhouse, requiring 15 rounds. Realistically, Clubhouse is one of those maps that gives either team some level footing in terms of the defensive favor. If I'm NIP here, I still don't feel out of this. I feel like I still have one hell of a shot to push this all the way to the distance.
This has been a very streaky map overall. Both of these teams able to put together 3 rounds in a row, and that's why things have been so close so far. Reciprocity has the ability to shut it out here. It's going to be mid-floor, and it appears the kid gloves are off, Flynn, as this is actually going to be a full-on mid-hold.
Yeah, we got a Castle, a Vigil, a Maestro, a Jaeger, and a Smoke all coming out. So it looks like Reciprocity might break open the strat book for one round here to try and lock things out, and I wouldn't be at all shocked. Honestly, considering that overtime is the risk you play if you don't want to take this one seriously. So we're, again, defending in towards the basement, but we have some roaming presence. We are stalling out NIP in terms of their entry, in terms of their ease of access to opening up the garage panels. This is exactly what you want to see if you're a Reciprocity fan back home.
And this is going to be very scary for Ninjas and Pyjamas, but no, they're going to throw themselves right into the garage. Fox is going to get the first kill. They got to be able to recognize that it's out, and they will. Sky's going to find the secondary, but it's going to be Psycho to finally wake things up for Ninjas and Pyjamas as they're trying to fight their way back to the back end of White. Mark to trade things out, though. They still have the man advantage. It's going to be Pino as well as Polo to try and shut things down. We've only been through 50 seconds in this round. Polo to find one, but it's immediately going to get traded. It's going to be all up to Polo to try and win this out in a 1 versus 2. Fox already quite a bit of damage done to him. Retro's still going to be on max HP, and he's going to have all of those toxic babes, I do believe, except for one in his arsenal.
Trying to push down spiral stairs, and there goes Polo to put it down to the 1v1. A massive round here with still plenty of time remaining here for Polo. The only problem is the health disadvantage, about 25 to 100. Both 2 armors. Smokes come down, laying prone, Retro waiting. All it takes is 2. The quick peek to bait out the shots, and Retro's gonna stand on up and spring through the rotation, knowing he has diffuser, and knowing that Polo is low on HP and has to push on through. Reciprocity giving the calls off the cam that was not shot, pushing through the office hallway, slow peeking at crouch height. All it takes is 1, but Polo! The 1v3 for Polo and NIP keep themselves alive. We're gonna push to overtime.
Oh, Retro, my friend. Just a little too antsy there, was a little too nervous. You can see it. Those dancing shots don't work too well on land when you try and go for those information peaks. It's something that a lot of pro players have talked about. You really can't perform those well on land because of the ping, but it works out this time around for Polo. He baits just enough, and Retro bites the bait every single time, and he's able to telegraph his location inside of Kitchen because of it, winning out that gunfight.
That was a 5v3 and a 4v2, and then I think a 2v1? Yeah, 3v1 there for a minute, or half a second really. But Polo completes the comeback. NIP come back from 3 separate man disadvantages of at least 2 members to pull back the round. And you gotta be feeling pretty good right now if you're an NIP fan. If you're a Reciprocity fan, now you're feeling a little more tense. So it's going to be Reciprocity on the attacking side now, heading into overtime as we begin round number 13 on Consulate. This is not something I anticipated, but like I said, heading in, NIP, little more familiar territory than Coastline.
This is just a really big issue for Reciprocity. I think you pulled the book out just a little bit too late. You might be in very treacherous waters. Instead of going to bed at a decent time for your match tomorrow, you might be going to Map2. And that could be very rough. It currently sits at 11:33 at night, and we still have to complete this game. People still have to go home, do some VOD review, get warmed up for tomorrow. It's just not the best seat to possibly be sitting in. Reciprocity now, though, on the overtime end of things, we'll be starting off on the offensive side, which means Ninjas and Pyjamas will be playing a maximum of 2 defensive rounds, and Reciprocity will be playing a maximum of 2 offensive rounds.
Mark getting back on the Ash here, so we're going back to the role swaps that Reciprocity were bringing out when they were getting a little more aggressive, when Mark was entering the building with Skies, and they were trying to conduct some entry kills within the first minute, which has been the most conducive strategy to success for Reciprocity in terms of their attacking rounds. And waiting for any rotations. This has been the waiting game from Reciprocity, is sitting on repels, waiting for NIP to move. The problem is, again, we talked about it before, Reciprocity need to force it to happen. You cannot just sit and wait outside forever. It's only been a minute, so I'm not too stressed right now about Reciprocity's attack. And one of my big worries, though, is they are attacking towards the top floor bomb site. They've had some difficulties on the repels dealing with jump outs and really just not ready for NIP to get aggressive. The drone will spot out that the bathroom wall is soft here from Fox A, and it does have a rotation, but nobody playing inside of bathroom, so a dangerous proposition to be played here for NIP, leaving that access open. That's such a wonderful angle to have. If you can get someone inside of the bathroom, you are golden. One member playing lower on the yellow stairs, though, as Skies and Fox A are both in the yellow window repel, and Mark is not looking down towards the bottom yellow door. Oh, this could be a recipe for disaster if whoever that is elected to go for a jump.
Could be absolutely terrifying. Ninjas and Pyjamas are also poised at the bottom of yellow as they continue to just wait out. Laxing's actually going to get a kill from all the way upstairs. That'll be Polo, who was such a clutch player the last time around, but he'll be the opening frag for this first round of overtime. Yellow control now in the hands of Reciprocity as they've swung in. Fox A still has one frag grenade, challenging back and forth with the door. They need to get this bathroom, but Moosey's been downstairs as well. Reciprocity is starting to take control, but it's going to be Pino to take down Fox A. And all of a sudden, Reciprocity doesn't have what they need in order to get a diffuser down. There's not much map control in their hands. They still really only have yellow, and the diffuser's in the hands of Retro. Where even is Retro? That's going to be a challenge up the yellow stairs. Skies downs the other one as well. He'll be able to confirm Moosey here in just a second, but doesn't even do that. He's going to get shot through the bathroom wall as Barraz continues his reign of terror with that Alda. Mark to be able to confirm Moosey. That was a man that was down. Challenged into long hallway, but they have to get this plant down now, though. Retro has to stick this, and Mark has to be able to play Overwatch. It's all left up to Barraz. Can he get this initial kill to start us off? We're into the OT. Will he bail out the window? No, they're both going to stick inside. This could be very, very dangerous. They're both on practically one shot here, all except for Mark, who can take quite a few more. Has to reload that Alden now, though, and it's such a long reload sequence. That timer's almost at half. He needs to confirm both of these kills quickly. A pre-fire to the desk does not find Retro. He continues to try and find him, but accuracy through volume not working out. Challenges to the side. Does he know where he is now, though? He goes for the kill, but he can't even get it. Retro to win it out for Reciprocity.
You can see the looks of determination right now on the faces of Reciprocity as they know they've screwed up. They know they had that last round, that was theirs. Such huge man advantages over and over and over and over and over again on that last round and many rounds throughout this game. They're getting a little lackadaisical. They're getting refocused now. That round there, again, that's NIP jumping out to their inevitable demise. This has been the same strategy for Reciprocity the entire time. Sit perched up somewhere, either on a window or on a rooftop, wait for the jump. Keep rinsing and repeating until NIP lose the game. It was when NIP discovered that, hey, if we don't move, we don't die, that they started picking up some rounds. But again, trying to take a more aggressive stance, feeling the momentum as well, for picking up a lot of those rounds in the defensive set. Just unfortunate here for NIP. They now stand again on the precipice of elimination from Tokoname. We've seen them win 3 rounds in a row. Can they win 2 rounds in a row? They'll be on the attack to try and salvage their run here in Japan, or it'll be Reciprocity locking things out as we all expected them to, just a little bit longer than I think many anticipated.
I mean, even if you go out in this manner, you still have to be able to walk home with your head held high. I mean, you push Reciprocity all the way to overtime on the second map. You didn't even assume that there really was going to be a possibility of OT. You thought you were maybe going to get 4 rounds just off of some errors that Reciprocity made, and all of a sudden you're here. You can push this to map 3. It is within the realm of reach. Reciprocity now, though, on the defensive side, need to reach into that bag just one more time in order to put that nail in the coffin.
I think the difference maker is sending Laxing on the roam. Stop trapping him on site down inside of Archives.
That's just not Lax.
He's having no effect on the round, and he's not being successful on the flanks until it's way too late. Now, he's flanking after diffuser's planted. Laxing is at his best when he has mobility and freedom. You take him off the leash, you let him run around, he'll get you some picks, he'll waste a lot of time on the clock, and NIP won't have an entry. They will not feel confident pushing into the bomb site or even Piano for top control.
Well, I mean, we remember times from, well, practically a year ago now at this point where Laxing was playing Thatcher. We're going, why do you have this man on Thatcher? Give him something that he can really, really frag with. And we've seen him, especially on the offensive side, shift over to these more aggressive operators in the likes of IQ and things along those lines. that have really just given him this power of entry and power of roam. And he's been so successful with it throughout both of the Pro League seasons for this last year. And just overall, it's really brought Reciprocity alight with his aggressive playstyle.
Well, attempted entry shut down, laxing on the roam like we called for. Muzi meets his maker, as well as Polo as he tried to push in through Yellow Stairs. Skies got him to shreds with that TCSG. Pino alone right now in the locker's hallway. Well, Skeleton Key opened the kitchen door. 2 going for the peak now, as lots of damage done to Pino and not a lot done in return. Laxing awaiting at the top of the Visa Stairs to condense on top of Pino in tandem with a pinch from a teammate inside of the bomb site, as there's still about 90 seconds remaining here for the attackers of NIP to work their way out of this tricky situation. But being on elimination point, Reciprocity want to wrap this one up with a nice little bow. Waiting for a flank to come in from behind, and it's well possible. Foxay was also on the top floor as the Vigil, but instead he'll be inside of the bathroom waiting for a push to come in through the main lobby. None such coming just yet from from Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Here's that Foxy was trying to get on top of the toilet inside of the stall area. And
no way.
Are you kidding? Oh no. Well, is it only on our end? I'm trying to see if the players are still playing. It looks like the ref is reaching inside of his pocket, so I'm going to assume that that is an error that's happening. And yeah, Retro, head in hand, going, yep, that was our round to win. And talk about timing.
So we're going to go to a tech break re-host, but we will go. Same site, same ops, Reciprocity in the exact same situation they were in last time around. They did have the 5v3 man advantage with Pino on low HP, and now they have to reset it to 5v5. Again, it looks like they're going to keep Foxay and Laxing off the leash. They're going to let them roam wherever they well please. And that's the best way to run it when you're Reciprocity on Consulate. That's when they have the most success.
And I think this is a time to just highlight that little asterisk is in the rulebook of when this happens. You have to play the exact same site. You have to play the exact same operators. So you're still going to dedicate yourself to the Vigil as well as the Jaeger for Fox and Lax. And we're going to see that duo that we know so well inside of North America that is so dominant on their roam games. And we'll have to see if it works out for them this time around. Last time it was definitely seeming like it was all over. They had a very successful roam. Laxing got his kill on admin stairs, and it seemed like that was all she wrote right up until we had that server crash.
Well, like I said, if you're NIP, it's a fresh start. You got gifted one. Take it and run. If you're Reciprocity, run it right on back. Just try and replicate your same success. A lot of roaming potential here for Reciprocity once again. You've got the barbed wire at the top of the spiral stairs and Laxing again. He's unleashed in towards admin right now. Could go just about anywhere he damn well pleases, and he'll drop down Spiral actually. Get caught on the drone there, so Barrow's good intel gathering. We'll see if he can relay that to the majority of the team. But he's going to head all the way back down to the basement. I don't like that for Laxing, but at least you still have Foxay upstairs in the bathroom to, again, stall out an entry for NIP. That's what we've always talked about, is stop giving NIP map control for free. Stop letting them get into bathroom, because you're, at that point, just banking on nitro cells. And without actual intel inside of Piano, you are guessing. Stop leaving your rounds up to guessing, start taking action to try and push yourself over the finish line.
Yeah, at that point, it's just a gambler's game. Do they walk across the trap that I have waiting for them underneath? Can I get the sound cue right? Does that work for me? And a lot of the times it didn't for Reciprocity, so now that they're trying to go for the gunfights instead, they found a lot more success. Ninjas in Pyjamas playing a lot slower than they did the last time around. They walked into the trap that Reciprocity had laid for them in that roam game. They assumed they were going to be playing the exact same way they've been playing throughout this entire matchup so far, which was slow and steady, give up complete map control, and just turtle on site, hope for the best.
Interesting that Barros is the man carrying the diffuser right now as the Capitao, going for a bit of an entry into the building as well. It's risky. I'd rather have that on Psycho as the Thermite, a little more typical. Ooh, Kai trick. Nah, Polo's going to snipe that one. So nice shot there from the Zofia to spot out the Electric Claw heading to the wall. Oh, just about 60 seconds now tick away as we stand at the 5v5. And all 5 members of Reciprocity have collapsed back to the bomb site. We've seen this time and time before again. And it's usually been the Ninjas in Pyjamas winning out these trade battles, especially when Laxing is stuck in the server rack inside of Archives. Worrying about a wooden barricade on their backside, but it looks like Reciprocity want to lock this out. The first smoke grenade will go out with 40 seconds remaining. It's perfect timing for Retro to stall for an entry into the breach, and Barros is going to need to go for a plant soon.
Well, Toxic Babes now being allocated from Retro, and he could waste enough time in order to wait for a rotation from the other members of Reciprocity, and it seems like that was the game plan for them. Fox and Lax both trying to shove their way up the staircase, but we're going to have equal trades back and forth. Mark will actually end up on top with a double kill. They're going to continue to push it as Skies takes down Psycho. The diffuser isn't even down, only 10 seconds. Going to light up the toes, but Pino will actually get it onto barrels, or excuse me, onto pipes. Retro finds one. It's all left up to Musi, but it doesn't even matter. Reciprocity to win it out in OT. And that's going to be a 2-0 for the boys in orange and black.
Reciprocity, they set themselves a date with Na'Vi tomorrow as the second semi-final. The first one will be Aerowolf versus Dark Zero. Reciprocity obviously elated with the victory. It took a lot longer than I think many of us expected, but a beautiful performance by Ninjas in Pyjamas, given their circumstances, to be able to battle and put up a good fight here on map number 2. Map 1, bit of a wash. They needed to wake up and get used to playing with each other. Map number 2, they played a lot better now, and honestly, a well-fought game. They even got gifted that server crash there at the end, but Reciprocity takes the win, as they were well intended to do. Like the analyst has said, it's a lose-lose for Rec. You either win against a team you clearly should beat, or you lose probably one of the most embarrassing games of your lives. Exactly. For NIP, absolutely nothing to lose here for NIP. They didn't lose anything by participating in this game. They showed exactly what they could bring to the table given their circumstances with lack of visas. For Reciprocity now, honestly, I agree with the desk. They look shaky. That's an interesting situation between holding strats and still looking a little uncoordinated. But nonetheless, let's throw it to the stage. Let's have a conversation with Fox. Hey, Matt, take it away, bud.